Board of Directors to order. If you have your cell phones with you, we'd appreciate if you would silence your cell phones. If you wish to address the board, we have citizens communication card. I have several here already tonight. I'll get those, present those as I'll recognize those as they're presented to me. If you'd fill out one of those so we'd have record of you speaking tonight. At this time, we'll have a roll call.
Director Smith is absent. Director Roberts?
Here.
Assistant Mayor Harris?
Here.
Director Holovish?
Here.
Director Brewer?
Here.
Director Jewell?
Here.
Mayor Brown?
Here. At this time, we'll stand for an invocation given by Director Terry Roberts. Our pledge of allegiance will be led by our building manager of the bi-state, Larry Vaden.
Let us pray. Gracious God, we gather here today with a serious purpose. We ask for your wisdom and guidance as we deliberate the matters that are before us. Grant us clarity of thought and let our discussions be productive. We pray that you would watch over everyone that is here and that we always put others before self. In Christ's name we pray. Amen.
Larry?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. At this time, we'll move right on into our citizens communication time. Ms. Bursey.
Good evening. My name is Brenda Bursey, 3720 County Avenue. I'm here to reiterate my feelings of injustice in your decision in rezoning the Laurel Street neighborhood. I guess you're saying I'm beating a dead horse. Well, in one way I am, because you have a big, beautiful garage sitting in a minority residential neighborhood. On the other hand, I am speaking to the living violators, the violators of the city's vision, the violators of the city's gateway neighborhood, the violators of the C3 zoning definition, and the violators of the future historical site area, and the violators of the desires of the neighborhood. I want you to recognize that your decision affects two parties, one positive and one negative. If you are making your decisions based on unbiased and based on the rule of law and supported by truthful evidence, then the losing party can accept and move on. But when decisions are made that aren't based on the rule of law and on personal biases and opinions, then there's a problem. My statements might be repetitious of what I said before, but I will keep saying until I recognize that I think you realize the consequences of your actions. I asked this council how this rezoning would enhance the city gateway. No one responded. So this comprehensive plan is not worth the paper it's written on when this council can change it and violate it at will. This city administration and council have decided that they can manipulate the strategic plan vision with their personal definitions for selected individuals. The city administration, planning board, commission, city manager, city lawyer, mayor, council has redefined the word retail because it did not meet the requirements for what the garage activities would be. Webster's dictionary definition of retail does not apply in Texarkana, Arkansas. You have redefined it to benefit your bias objectives. You have set a precedent for future requests for C3 zoning requesters. They do not have to abide by the strategic plan, nor do new requesters of C3 zoning have to have a legitimate retail business that sells to the public. Your actions have caused a realignment of the city's bylaws and visions for the benefit of one person. I have dedicated a lot of time and effort for the last 6 months to try to preserve the minority residential neighborhood that contains a future historical site. The requester has not appeared not one time before this council. The mayor stated he didn't have to. No, he didn't, because he had his rep, the planning department, the planning commission, the city manager, the city lawyer, the city mayor, and the council speaking and supporting him in his rezoning effort. Your questions and statements that were made were in defense of Mr. Duffer getting the rezoning approved. I want to know, what did this city do or say to represent the neighborhood on keeping a junkyard out of their backyard? Which of you spoke up for keeping the city's vision, the city's comprehensive plan, or the residential desires? I asked in the beginning that the city work with the neighborhood to revitalize the area and enhance the city comprehensive plan vision with a future restored historical site, but you chose to honor Mr. Duffer's request rather than the city's vision and its neighborhood citizens, but blindfolds came off. You have demonstrated by your actions and decisions that the privileged citizens and businesses come before the marginalized or the minority communities. Citizens should not have to come and beg the city administration and council over an extended period of time to correct issues related to unhealthy situations in their communities. Citizens in the Iron Mountain community shouldn't have to come and beg this city administration and council over an extended period of time to get some type of relief from their unsafe and unhealthy environment they have to live with daily. If this city administration and council can redefine and manipulate laws for Mr. Duffer, then surely, if you were persons of integrity, you would change and manipulate the laws to address the marginalized neighborhood concerns. The city administration and council collaborated to get Mr. Duffer's rezoning done in one night, brought it back, voted on it, and put an emergency clause on it, all in one night. You tended to his problem. So let's see what you can do behind closed doors to address these community problems. They are tired of you saying, I'll look into it. Thank you.
Mr. Cox? No.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Cecil Cox. I'm here in regards to this Iron Mountain, about our neighborhood. This is about basically, I grew up in a time when we didn't have paved roads. I'm 69 years old, and it was just gravel growing up when I was a little child. And we used to get potholes, rain and muddy. It would snow and freeze, and cars would get stuck in a row for 4 or 5 days and wouldn't be moved. And then there was one legendary person, Mr. Freddie Johnson, who is no longer with us. He got together and he insisted that we should have paved roads and curbing, and we eventually got that. And he did such a great job. It's just the fact that, you know, I know this is a different entity as far as Texas side. You know, they're getting sidewalks, all those things. And what we're asking for is just a particular area to be fixed. Not just that, but on Arkansas in general. But there's one area that just a sore is 13th Street and Couch. It's had so much asphalt has been put on it that it can no longer be paved anymore. It's just it looked like it was hit with some sort of bomb or something. And my suggestion is that it should be jackhammered, have rebar replaced there with quick dry concrete would be the only solution I would think, or some strong asphalt. I don't think that's asking too much if Texas side can put sidewalks up. And I just think, you know, the whole city in general, the streets are very bad. I'm sure all of you live here, you know that yourselves, and we all have to just continue to avoid big, large bumps and everything like that. I mean, you have to take your car to the shop. The bearings go bad in your front wheels. Getting that replaced is $300, or you constantly have to take your car to the shop. I'm just hoping that someone sees this and in turn can have something done about that. So that's all I have to say.
Thank you. Mr. May? You want to speak? Yes.
I'm up here about this house on either side of me on Pearl Street. And, man, they got bushes 12 foot in the air over there. And they're steadily pulling stuff out of that house and piling it up. I got 4 copperheads in the freezer at my house that I caught 2 of them in my yard and 1 in each one of the other yards. Brothers, I got to have some help. Somebody with the yard crew, somebody to clean that up. I got pictures that nobody has ever looked at. I'm talking about a jungle, man. It's a jungle out there. And I need some help, get somebody to do something bad. I'm run over by rats, snakes.
What's those addresses?
1720 Pearl Street, and whatever would be the one on the other side. I'm 1716.
I believe it's 1710.
I think it is 1710, but they said that it's on the list to be condemned too, but
That's one we're looking at tonight, I believe.
Are-
1710.
Are these the 2 homes that or the 2 structures that you've been talking about?
and I took pictures tonight because I didn't know what else to do. I'm trying to keep my mouth shut, and they told that lady 2 months ago to not mess that house. She went out there and built a ornamental brick deal around the mailbox. I don't know what the deal is, but I know I'm having to pay Allied to come out and do my yard, and they're still crawling across me. I wish somebody would look at these pictures. I can't get nobody to look.
You said they said not to mess with it or whatever, or they being who? Told the lady not to mess with it, but yet she did.
Just told her right here in court. She left that evening,
They being the city. Okay.
Miss Sang, when she was here 2 months ago. And she just went on out there like y'all, you know, they ain't had the water there in 3 years, so.
Now, the pictures, I guess, somebody has looked at those pictures.
He just showed them to me. Mr. Mayor, you've got my cell phone number. If you want to text me those pictures, I can have those on hand. The one house was already condemned. I believe they did pull a permit to work on that house, but the work wasn't completed on time, so it will be demolished. The house on the other side of them is the one that's on your agenda tonight to be condemned.
That's the 1710.
Correct.
1710's on there tonight.
Yeah.
Man,
Correct.
please, I'm begging y'all, man. I need some help.
So in the interim, as far as the yard and all that, can the city do anything there as far as in relief, as far as rats and all that? I mean, because it's going to be a long time before the structures can be really put on the list and be demolished.
No, it's on the
I mean, the other-
list. Yeah, we can.
He's got two structures he's talking about.
Right.
On either side.
Yes, we can, it's for the one that's on your agenda tonight, yes,
Right.
we can certainly look into that and get that property cut.
But
The other one, we'll be in to demolish it by the time we get in to cut anything. So it'll all get done at that same time.
all right, okay.
I'm just scared something gonna catch on fire. Ain't been no water to that house in over 3 years. And it's gonna catch my little old house on fire. Lord knows I don't have money for that. I'm just trying to be civil and come to this council and talk to y'all. Please help me. I'm begging you. I don't know what else to say.
Mr. May, we'll look in the one that's on the agenda for tonight that will be a little bit longer before it's demolished. We'll look into at least going out there and getting the property cut.
At least, man, that would help. They
Yes,
got
sir.
another pile out there. I'm scared the nuts is gonna go out there and, I mean, the people gonna go out there and light it. And ain't no, stopping it once it gets going.
Yes, sir.
I would like to say one thing. I know you've come here many times, and you have always been very kind, very courteous, and very patient. And
I've learned to keep my mouth shut to get me in more trouble. But I'm just trying, please, somebody,
yes,
y'all keep on this.
I knew he was coming because I had called him. I knew he was coming tonight because I had called him and reminded him around about 4 o'clock of the board meeting we was having tonight. So I'm well aware of all the issues that he had, and I told him to come to the meeting tonight and express his concerns. Okay. Because he is in Ward 2, and that issue is in Ward 2.
I believe it's Mr. Jameson.
Good evening, gentlemen. I'm in reference to Saturday night. It's so dark over there on Preston Street. I'm going to talk about the potholes, and I'm going to talk about the ditch over there at 219 Charles Street that runs through right into the little creek right there beside our property. We own 5 lots down there. And when it rains, water just rises up, because when it fills the ditch up, it comes toward our house. If you ever come over to our Pinehurst, it's 219 Charles Street. We own the creek anyway. When they bought all the houses out, my mom's land was just too far away to buy it, so they left us to own the house on that street if you did his street. And I've been asking Director Harris to bring it to the board that maybe we get the city to come just clean the ditch out. If they would come in and get some of the debris after the water runs out of it and stuff, and this was months ago. And I got back with him, he said ain't nobody said nothing, or ain't nobody done nothing for sure. So I'm here to ask tonight, if we short of people in the city that I see riding around in their trucks practically all day. I know they can, I'm not saying they ain't doing their job, because I'm a veteran of myself, and I got plenty of time to ride around. I ain't worked since I was 42. So I got time to check my city out. But back to the potholes. Saturday night, my son hit a pothole on Preston on the other side of Oak Street. $389 for a rim and a tire. Tire was $127. So I was out of $500 because we don't have the people to fill the potholes. I talked with a citizen just coming in the building. If y'all could just get the asphalt and give us a notice, we'll get our own shovels, man, and start filling some of these potholes in our neighborhood. Because you can't go down Pinehurst. I hit one in my Tundra. It shook my whole truck, and that's a big 4x4. I mean, literally, y'all, shook my truck. And then my son hit one this past Saturday. It just ripped my rim up. Come on, y'all. And then I came here this morning, the city said, oh, we can't do nothing for y'all, but we pay y'all taxes. We paying for y'all to sit where y'all sitting at. So y'all can't help us? You know what I'm talking about? What if, just being honest, what if we say, well, y'all just come up here and work for free? Y'all, I doubt if people would do that, because y'all time is valuable just like ours. But what we asking is, I was coming right behind Jones Funeral Home. Go back that way. Man, they got 4 potholes right there off 9th Street, not even 6 feet. They're so huge potholes, y'all. Yeah, it rains, true enough. But rain ain't the reason that these potholes as bad as they is, because we're not doing nothing to try to correct them, So I'm just asking the city, can we come to Director Harris's neighborhood and try to give him a little support for his citizens? I don't know what y'all doing for the others. That's not our business. But I know he comes and complains about for his ward. And we need some help down there. Them creeks is just overgrown, and it's getting ridiculous, y'all. And we've been down there. I'll be 62 my birthday. I never lived nowhere else but 219 Charles Street. So I've been there 60 plus years. So can you imagine how long my mother and them stayed there? You're talking over 100 years in that one place.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yes, sir.
Now, you said 219.
219 Charles Street, Texarkana, Arkansas.
Okay, That's the only house that's on that road?
That's the only house we own from Morrison Street, going this way to the creek, and if you cross over the street, we own that. We own 5 lots down there.
Okay, and you said where the tire thing, it wasn't on your street, it was on
No, it
Preston?
happened on Preston going toward Preston Circle. When you pass Preston Circle, it's, you got those little complexes right there. If y'all ride there, man, and it's nighttime, you cannot see the potholes, y'all. That's the problem. Daytime, we can duck and dodge them like we do. Right here on Pinehurst, take the right there on Pinehurst, come down 1 block. Look, man, them holes is huge. They are huge, y'all. It's nothing that, I'm not being funny, but Ray Child probably could see them holes, and he blind and dead. That's how big they is. It's not a joking situation, but I'm just telling y'all the truth. We are being overlooked bad, And if it, like we said, another gentleman go get up. Hey man, get us some asphalt. I don't work nowhere. I'll get out there with a shovel, and I'll start hooping some holes and pack it if I have to. Cause man, this get ridiculous. I don't have money just to keep buying tires. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you, sir.
Liedel?
I don't even know where to start. I did tell him y'all work for free though. So we want to thank y'all setting up here on our money. But I really don't know where to start. All the complaining I'm doing, I don't never get nothing really out of complaining. And tonight I'm gonna bring up my ward leader because I never said nothing about Hollywood since I've been coming up here. But it's so strange to come up here and complain about this and not even the man out of our ward say, I would try to help y'all do this and do that. Not one time have you ever said anything about what he would try to help us do over there. And I talked to the chief, he went out, he spoke to a neighbor, I talked to Tyler, he said he would furnish the asphalt, we're gonna fill the hole, we're trying to let all the water get out. We're gonna do that in that neighborhood over there. And chief went out and talked to Miss Williams, and she told him, it's so sad, I'm retired, and I can't even come sit on my porch because of the smell. I can't do, I'm scared it's killing me. And then the road Mr. Cox talking about is right in front of Miss Williams' house, which I sent Tyler a video, and he looked at it, he said, gonna see what he gonna try to do. I'm doing all I can to communicate and cooperate without raising saying about it. I'm trying to let everything play itself out. Tyler said he gonna look at that. I talked to y'all about the ordinance, which we know they're not abiding by the ordinance. We know the smell, we know they polluting the land. We know the smoke, we know the sound. We know the sound is nowhere close to the ordinance it's supposed to be. And I do understand, I was told none of y'all up here was on the city council when they did that in 2004. I understand that. But now that y'all are here, and y'all know we being done wrong, and we are part of Texarkana, can y'all please look into it to try to get us some kind of 16 hours a day, 6 days a week is what we get out of there. Mr. Brewer came by. He didn't come by for that situation, but he just happened to see me outside. He know for a fact, he growed up over there. Y'all know what we going through. It's sad that a senior citizen says she can't sit on her porch because she's scared the fume is killing her. Mr. Cox must be sick behind the same fume. So we can't just keep coming here and listen to it. We're going to look into it and we're going to see what we can do. Somebody got to start doing something. Y'all help us. We need help.
But we have to have concrete information, concrete reason to do something. We can't just tell Tri-State that they got to quit or whatever.
Okay,
There have to be specific violations that they're not,
And I'm glad you said that because that's that thing y'all got called an ordinance, right?
it is.
And I'm not trying to get smart, don't think I am, because
Understand.
I want to get along with all y'all, but have you looked into the ordinance to see what they doing wrong? Have you looked into it?
No, I have not.
Okay, so
But they
you
have-
telling us y'all need concrete evidence, look for it. Y'all look for it. We don't know how to do it. We don't write the ordinance.
Well, they have a noise violation.
Yes,
They-
with the ordinance, right?
That's it. But it takes what I'm hearing is, they have been checked several times, and they did not violate that ordinance, that they didn't exceed those limits. The smell, I don't know what ordinances dictate any limits or whatever as far as smells.
It's called like
We can't-
pollution, so that's when the EPA come in. We got a pollution law, right?
We do, well, I assume we do. I mean,
Yeah.
that would be
And-
EPA, yes.
And I'm glad you asked me these questions, because my point to you is, y'all don't have no concrete evidence, but you never even tried to look at the ordinance to see is they violating the ordinance or not. Nobody, all we know about the noise ordinance, we know the police done been out a million times, and they done told me, point blank range, Tri-State cannot operate under the noise ordinance. That's all I can get them to say. That's all I can get them to say. I got video I can bring up here and show y'all, but what you saying, if you concerned, if Mr. Harris concerned, no, Hollywood was that concerned by his ward itself. He will make y'all a video. He will pull the ordinance. He will tell Tri-State what they doing wrong. He would do it. If he was concerned, he would do it. Well, I'm coming up here beating on something that ain't making no sense, because all y'all saying is we don't have no concrete evidence. Pull the ordinance, read it.
Well, you know, as far as like the smells and stuff, I would know what to even be looking for. I mean, I'm sure would be obnoxious to me, but I don't know.
And
That
it's
would be
coming from their
obnoxious.
torch, they cutting over there with a torch, right? And I think, well, no, he's not here today, but that's what the city attorney, y'all pay the city attorney, y'all don't get paid. He had a misunderstanding, but the city attorney get paid, right? So he could pull the orders, he could find out what they doing wrong in order, because that's why y'all paying, that's why the city paying. Why, he could pull it, and he could see.
There's something like that we can certainly look into. That if the smoke violates the smell ordinance or something like, we can certainly look into that.
But we done looked into the noise ordinance since I've been coming. We know they're not complying with the noise ordinance, but we not getting nothing done.
Well, but you say they're not complying.
Yes.
But the evidence seems to indicate they are complying.
Y'all are complying? Because of the meter reader, right? Okay, after the last meeting, they came out and they checked it, didn't they? The last meeting. You probably don't know, but right after the last meeting, they sent the officer out with the meeting and read it. I'm just telling you what they did. I'm not telling you what I think. I'm telling you. Me and Mr. Cox, we watched them do it. And you know what Tri-State were doing at the time they checked it? They weren't even crushing no metal. So what kind of reading were they going to get?
If I may, Liddell, that's my fault, okay? We've got these ordinances in place, and it's taken me some time to compile it all. But I've got all that compiled now with a list of all their regulations, in their PUD, the noise ordinance, all of that. We have been, over the last few weeks, going out and taking noise level readings at various times during the day, morning, midday, evening, so we make sure we capture it across the entire day. And now, as far as the smell goes, the air quality, the city doesn't regulate that. That's regulated through Arkansas Department of Environmental Quality, and further up, EPA.
Which the city attorney should be able to say, we might need you to go out and check it like that. That's
I
something-
will absolutely reach out to ADEQ, and
In the community want to be involved. We don't want to just go and say, well, they checked and there ain't nothing going on. We want to be involved. We want to know it's legit, and we want to
I
see the
got you.
paperwork too.
I got
on
you.
that part.
It'll be from a state agency.
And another thing I want to say, for the noise though, we got Mr. Hollywood, that's his ward right there. If he could just come out, when I call him, I'm just say I call him about the noise, he come out, he called the police with the meter, read it in front of me and him, and let's see what he bring y'all back. Would that work? Can I get you to agree to that?
I'll be happy to do that.
I done tried to stop you so many times, you tell me you too busy.
I've never told you I'm too busy.
I called you, Holly Bush, and asked you to come back, you said you gotta go, a dinner to make it too.
You have never called me.
All right, I'm
Lady,
through
your
with it.
time's expired.
All right.
Hey, Liddell.
Tyler,
I do have one question for you. Has anybody in that area that you live in, which I know where you live at, have they ever been asked to take a tour at Tri-State and to see what goes on in there?
Yep. They asked me to go. But, I mean, why I want to go in there and see what I can see from the outside? I mean, they probably want to drop a motor on my head when I come up in there. But, yeah, they have asked me to come in there, but I declined to go. I don't want to go.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Thank you.
hey, Tyler, will you put me on the list to receive a copy of the
I'm
ordinance?
going to supply that to every board member, the mayor. I'm going to supply it to Liddell as well. I got to come see you about the trees
And
anyways.
I'm going to say that I know I'm through, Mr. Hollywood. Hollywood, you know I got text message for the last 2 or 3 years, right?
I misspoke.
Okay,
It has
thank
been
you.
quite a while since we've spoken.
Director Harris?
I just want to say this, that most of our ordinance state that when we write an ordinance, it state that we shall consider the necessary appropriation, condition, safeguard to protect the health, welfare, the health, safety, and welfare of the citizens. So I think that should get enough clause to look in just about anything that a citizen bring up. And Mr. Lee, they'll know that happened in 2004, and I went on the board in 2004. So there is a correct statement. I don't think nobody was up here when that, when that PUD was done. I wasn't up here, so. All right, thank you.
I believe it's Henderson, Ms. Henderson? Yes.
I've come to talk to you about the property on that 1721.
Pearl Street?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I had purchased that house last year, and my sister had died, and then I had got in trouble, and I had went to jail, and then whenever I came, I just got back, I was out for 7 months. I went down there and they told me I had to go get the deed in my name. So I went down there and I got the deed in my name, but when I went down there to get it today, I didn't have my ID with me. But I'm asking the favor on y'all to just give me like 30 days, because I gotta go to rehab tomorrow, and then when I get on rehab, I'll be right on top of it.
You're talking about to stop the condemnation?
Yeah, because
I mean,
then
that's
that house,
one thing you'll need to do is probably just go to, Tracy, just come to Public Works tomorrow or something and try to clear that up.
well, see, I gotta go to
If
rehab.
she does
tomorrow.
own it,
We
Huh?
have spoke to her about getting the paperwork done.
Yes, I went there today.
Last week and getting the name changed, and to date it has not.
It's
but
the-
even tonight, this voted on it would still be 30-day waiting period.
Yes, that is
If she supplies that between now and the 30 days, then we probably would not do it.
correct.
See, 'cause I go to
She would
rehab
have to,
tomorrow.
she would also have to get some sort of building permit or something to bring that up to code as well.
Yes, do you think you can just give me like 30 days and I can get on it right? 'Cause I have to,
to abate it or tear it down. You've got to be finished in 30 days.
Right.
You just got to come all the way up to code.
see, because I won't be able to get out. I'll get up to code as soon as I get up. I gotta be in rehab tomorrow.
Would you be
Well,
able to,
if it's approved tonight, you'll have that 30 days.
Okay.
would you be able to do that in 30 days?
Yes, I'll get, as soon as I get out, I can get it done. Because
Get
the
it-
house is not that bad. Yes,
To
sir.
bring it up to code, to do
Yes,
all the
we
city
can.
would require of you to do.
Yes, we can.
That's a short time.
Yes, I know, because it's not as bad as it seems. The other houses that they tore down, the one they tore down last time, the one they should be looking into is one over on 1719 Street. And, because that one needs to be tore down, because it's burnt, it's just sitting there, it's a hazard. And then the other house there, her other house on 1906 Senator, they've been in there for 5 years, they won't get out, and it's condemned, And then the house next door to him, that one needs to be whacked down. But that one, the house that I got, that's the best really house that she has left, So I would just ask y'all a favor on that, and I'll get it done as soon as I get out of rehab.
She needs to know that 30 days starts once y'all condemn it, not when she gets out of rehab.
Yeah, I mean, when we condemn that, if it's voted on and condemned tonight, the 30 days starts tomorrow.
See, and I won't have time, because I have to be in rehab 30 days.
I mean, that's,
Because see, if you walk through it, it's not that bad now. The backyard's bad. That's, you know what I'm saying? It ain't Machine. It's Machine letting the vultures come over there to all of our properties. That's how this all created. And Machine's a hoarder.
So to be clear, you will be in rehab for 30 days?
Yes, I'll be in rehab tomorrow. I got to go tomorrow, and I'm going to River Ridge.
there's really not anything left that we can do outside of that,
So
if it's
who's gonna
voted
talk
on
to about
tonight.
it then? Because I went down there and talked to him. I talked to him last year whenever I first got the house, but I had got in trouble. I went, I was just still out there, but
I understand. The other thing is, these properties have been on our list for quite some time, and they have obtained building permits to stop the process, my understanding, and that type of stuff, and it just keeps going on and on and on.
yeah, see, they got the builders, as soon as they got the builders permits, went to jail. We got them the first time then too. I had stayed 7 months in jail, and then when I got out, and I just found them the other day, and I went over there, I ran everybody off of there the day that was working on it, because I knew what they were gonna do. They weren't gonna do nothing. They was over there, they was looking for a handout, that's how these people are around here. you know, but that's not how the world is these days. If I just ask you, please, just let me have 30 days, when I get out of rehab, I'll be on top of it.
I don't see that that's possible, but that's, again, it has to pass tonight.
So 30 days from the day, what's the main thing we have to get done over there?
It would have to be brought up to code. So,
I think he said, what did you say, sir, that, what was the code for the electric and the,
Plumbing, HVAC, insulation, everything. It's gotta be brought up to today's building code.
yes, sir. Well, I'm gonna see if I can get on it, but maybe I can just pray and maybe it'll happen.
okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Any other person want to address? Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I had two houses. My husband died, and then my sister died. The house, he hit everybody when go walking. He got one house knocked out. Tell me own money, and my kid own 7,000. He got sick. He go back to Vietnam, but I paid water bill $350 my name, but somebody do and lie receipt and tell face city that her to do this, buy the house, do this, do that, go in jail, everything. I spend too much money and about, and my kids got shy on the clean up the house, got a back mid for me. I don't have. My kids say go ahead, clean up before he. On the Vietnam, he not tell me do this, do that. I say I'm get sick so bad. I had to tell her she moved. She say do this, do that. She go in jail. Her husband go in jail. I pay money, everything, and he say and I go pay water bill, go do this, buy the house. Nobody pay me but nothing, and do this. Fat to see right here, buy the house on the
I understand.
the year.
Yeah, I understand. I know she knows that.
Everything now, and I got permit back with, and I go some, they say, too late, I had company, they come, but, they say clean up, do beautiful, but because she smell so bad, every day, I chop bamboo, everything, I move, they lie, and they got money, and they run away. She talked to, she say, if you do, and you go in jail. She laid out, why, and woman, I do by myself. The man, he say, and he need, and put on the roof, everything. $45, $50, I pay. She drink the beer, she lay down, and she don't do for me. I'm get sick so bad, that's why I'm fired. The cop come into, neighborhood. That, he don't let me. We had the house, two house before. He hit everybody when go in. He hit Tina Smith. She run away to that man. We love him and we say hi every day. And I don't know why we Asian we love people. We don't do hurt nothing, but everybody. He hit everybody. He told me. He said you don't have the house no more. Why we know we have permit back with and somebody say too late. I had somebody go in, somebody say, clean up first, they take care of me. Ask him right here, told me to, help me to. That ask him. Everybody help me. But I don't know why, tell me how many, I say, phone with back with how many, get cấp money, theo too late, just down, I don't know, tell me, my husband died, my sister died, everybody, my son got sick so bad, he go back to Vietnam, and I only want myself, and I keep for them, nobody walk, and I'm so scared. I've been sick so bad, help me so, I'm sorry, I don't know what I do. I clean up wheel, everything, and I hide somebody. I put the mailbox, they chop mailbox throw away. So I had somebody make the mailbox. I don't know what.
I understand.
I tell my kid don't go to Vietnam and go talk city, and he go and talk and they say the house choked. I'm very bad. I say, don't know what. He don't love me. He tell me, dirty, I clean beautiful. You go and see. Nothing wrong with everybody. I chop bamboo, I clean up everything, but everybody don't let me and say do this, do that, you know. He hit and the other one, Robert Tristan, and he that too, you know, everybody, you know, I help them and I turn the water, everything, my money too, you know. I pay $350. One time I pay $150, and after this, and they say, and the me broken. I had somebody, they say CT must have, and the guy CT and the captain, why you don't tell and CT help you? Who I can tell English? I don't know nothing. Tell me, help me so much.
I understand.
My husband, he died almost about 2 years. He been here, he FBI, he done now, he got sick so bad he had to shop on the repair the car, you know. Somebody burn the shop and they run away. We had insurance too, but they don't pay nothing, they run away, no insurance. And now
we
he's
understand.
dead. I say, help me so, man. You know, my kids say, you must clean up city, tell you dirty. I'm good woman, I clean up every day. You know, I don't have the car. I had to call somebody, you know, a while ago in Engine, tell me, Brandon, and do this, and she live with me, she told the dress. I had ticket with city, how much I pay.
Ma'am, I'm sorry.
Everything. I don't have
I understand. I'm sorry, but your time's expired
so
tonight.
what I do now? I have appointment back with them job the house too late for what? Government too late. I clean up government by myself.
We'll just have to get done, Miss Shane. We gotta work hard at it. Work together.
She made me mad. She buy the house, you know.
I understand.
Why I must clean up by myself?
Eddie, could you assist us?
Tell me how much appointment back with. I'm sorry, I don't know appointment how. I thought I have appointment for, you know, about year.
I understand.
I'm sorry, everybody. Yeah, my kid not here, and I know English. I'm so sorry, everybody.
That's fine. Thank you. Is there anyone else that wishes to address the board tonight?
My name is Reverend Tony Child McLaughlin, and Miss Sane, she can't hardly speak English. I had to go and interpret for her with the Social Security office, the DHS office, and everybody else. And she got folks not paying her. I told her to go out to Middle County and have them put out, but she won't do that. She don't put anybody in jail. And so I asked her nicely, let me go do it, and she said no. But she can't speak no English, and she can't understand her. So, but her problem is that she loves folks too much, and she hate them because they misuse her, take her money and say they gonna fix her, don't fix nothing. Like a house on Battle Street, on the back side of Burma Park, and then I told her, you gotta put the law into it. But she don't put the law into it. She don't get anybody in trouble. Her heart is good. Also, the issue of an Iron Mountain addition, that iron company over there, the smell, the nighttime, they be throwing that metal out and stuff, it affects our families too. And on 15th Street, the potholes is bigger than your arm, bigger than your head, bigger than your body. My sister tore her new car up, and my nephew tore his new car up. My Miss Deborah tore her new Cadillac up, and they getting tired of it. They just patched the hose up. The hose was patched up back the same way next 2-3 months when the rain comes. So we need help over there in my addition too. but she needs some guidance, so I'm trying to guide her the right way, Miss Sane. But man, my addition, the tri-state iron been doing that for a long time. The noise, the smell, the iron, the metal stuff go through there, it messing our health up. Then on the backside, where the railroad on the property, they not cutting the property. It's like a forest out there. Go down 15th Street, come around and come across the tracks on 6th, 7th Street, make a left turn like a forest out there. There's a whole lot of floods over there. The water system's not right. They flood down 15th Street all the time. The creek overfloods and everything else. But Tri-State not only affecting Brother Lady on Klein Street, but also affecting Arkansas Street, Louisiana Street, California Street. Also affecting Booker Street, Roosevelt Street. The holes are gigantic holes, that big around. And I ain't drove since 2022, January 15, April 15, 2022. But I still drive a lot of cars, and I gotta take it easy going down through there. But that's all I gotta say. Love y'all too. God bless y'all.
Thank you. Anyone else wish to address the board? Anyone else? If not, we'll move into the consent agenda. Tonight, we have 2 items on the consent agenda. Item number 1 is approval of the minutes of the regular meeting on June the 2nd. Item number 2 is to adopt a resolution to set the date for a public hearing concerning the abandonment of a portion of a right-of-way along East 49th Street related to the property address 200 East 49th Street. What would be the desire of the board for the consent agenda?
Motion to adopt.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The consent agenda carries. We have 1 item on our regular agenda tonight. It's item number 3, to consider the following action concerning 2 substandard structures. We're to conduct a public hearing regarding the condemnation of these substandard structures and adopt a resolution condemning the 2 substandard structures. Roger Douglas.
1710
At this
Pearl.
time, we will open our public hearing.
1710 Pearl, you've already heard about. Mr. May's been up here complaining about it. That's a picture of it right there. You can't even hardly see the house from the overgrowth and stuff. We've been dealing with these. 4708 Parkland is another one. It was tagged in 2018. We have to keep sending the crew back over to clean up and everything. They keep saying they want to do something with it, but they won't ever do anything with it. We're getting a lot of complaints from the neighborhood over there, and that's the 2 that I'm bringing before you tonight.
Just to clarify, because you and I have had this conversation a couple of times, specifically with the thing that we've gotten into on Pearl, is once these things come to the board, a lot of these people, several of them, are coming and getting, and we're issuing the proper building permits, which keeps delaying the process once the building permit has to expire, et cetera, and all they're doing is circumventing the system to make sure
Pretty
that
much.
this keeps prolonging it.
When
It's not
you-
anything that the city has done to delay it, it's the actual owners that are causing those delays.
When it's condemned, they have 30 days to pull a permit and abate it or tear it down. That means 30 days to finish it, not the 30 days to get a permit to work on it.
There's been some confusion on that, Mayor. We have cleared that up, and we've set it right in this resolution. Whereas before, it appeared that you had 30 days to pull a permit. Our permits are good for 6 months, so then that extends it 6 months. But that is not the case. We fixed that with this resolution. Our ordinance states that they only have 30 days to completely demolish or abate the structure. So if it's not completed within 30 days, we can go in and tear it down.
Roger, is that the back or the front?
That is the front.
So, when she said the back was worse than the front.
It's
Yes,
all
sir.
bad.
Can I get a translator? Did anybody understand what she was saying? I'm not being negative, but I couldn't even understand what that lady was saying.
Is there, Mr. May, hold just a minute. Is there any other discussion during the public hearing?
Well, again, you're saying a house like this, they come in to get a permit. They have only 30 days to have it all fixed up. I mean, for me to walk in, sit down on the couch, be able to go to the bathroom.
That's what the resolution says.
Wow.
That's what the resolution has always said.
Oh.
Because if one goes to condemnation, it's past the point of being worth doing anything with.
This isn't the first they've heard of anything. They've been
Yes,
given
I mean, we're
opportunity
not-
Prior to now to bring it up.
We've been getting, if it's that far, we've been getting complaints on it for years.
Didn't you say that it started in 2018? So they've had,
Yes,
so they've had 7 years to do something up
Yes.
to.
Well, too, I mean, I would just kind of think that once you get a permit, you kind of, building permits, you can kind of work a little bit here and there instead of, so
the
that's.
problem with that is they do that to circumvent the system.
Well, I understand the logic behind it, but I'm just saying, it's kind of new to me too. I can see why they'd be somewhat surprised.
If they hadn't done it in 7 years, it doesn't look like they're gonna do it.
Ain't gonna happen in 30 days.
Now, the city is not beyond helping people. If they're actually doing something
Yeah, I
to
would
do
say
it,
if they were, we would probably.
and they get to the end of that 30 days and they've got most of it done, I'm not going to step in there and say, no, we're going to tear it down. That's not going to happen.
I mean, because
But you've got to make a conscious effort to do something.
not every structure is going to be in that bad of shape that we're actually condemning, right? I mean, some of them, this is probably worst case.
The majority of them
The majority.
are
They-
are in that shape.
The other one,
But not necessarily.
It's got to be an occasional exception to the rule.
well, the other one that's up there, 4708,
Yeah.
is a brick home, but it's been neglected for years and years and years. The inside of it, they had a dog living in there by itself for several years. It's a total mess. But we get so many complaints from the neighbors, and there's been people offered to buy it from them, but they don't want to sell it.
Is that in the Trice area?
Yes, sir. Pinson Park.
Okay.
So
Any other discussion in the public hearing? Do what?
I'm saying, that's the first, I've been on here, that's the first time I ever seen a house over the Trice area being brought forward for the people to come out.
there was,
We did one just a couple years ago.
there was one
there.
more that almost got there, but
Yeah,
they
the one
they
on
decided to
Pinson.
sell it
Yeah.
Mhm.
because they won't do anything with it.
Well, but that'll be another issue. I'm thinking about tax sales, but that's another issue, I guess I'll bring that up another day.
But they'll pay the taxes on it.
No, I'm saying somebody buy a house on a tax sale, and they knowing, there's something wrong with the house when they buy it from a tax sale, but the house is not condemned, and they don't know it's condemned, but they go through Arkansas, because, the reason I'm saying that, because there's one coming up July the 19th, I believe, out there at the convention center. And,
House for sale?
no, just.
The
a
state
tax
auction.
sale.
Oh, a tax sale with all the property.
With all the property in Miller County. So if somebody go out there and buy a house that, and they don't know it's been condemned, how's we gonna act with that issue?
We get that
Proceed
at
to
times, because the state doesn't disclose that it was condemned. We've had some that had liens on them that were, the house was torn down, there was a lien on it, they come in and tax them by the property. And then it takes a little while to get all that cleaned up.
But
Well,
mine,
this
you
one
mentioned,
has a lien.
I know,
Do
I
it.
believe Parkland has a lien.
well, I can bring that up at
Will
another
it?
time.
I believe it
but
does.
No, there's no lien showing on Markham.
Okay.
Not from us.
No.
There could be from others,
Okay.
but not from the city.
It's doubtful because it would already been foreclosed on. All right, any other questions during the public hearing? If not, we'll close the public hearing. If there's not any other discussion, we'll instruct our assistant city clerk to read the resolution.
Whereas the Public Works Department has requested an order of condemnation under Section 11-87 of the City of Texarkana, Arkansas Code of Ordinances for two substandard residential structures attached hereto as Exhibit A. Whereas the owners of the listed properties have been notified that the structures on the properties are in violation of the Arkansas Fire Prevention Code and the International Property Maintenance Code, but little or no work has been done on the structures, and the allowed time period has lapsed for the owners to voluntarily bring the structures into code compliance. And whereas each structure has been dilapidated, unsightly, unsafe, unsanitary, obnoxious, or detrimental to the public welfare, and whereas the Public Works Department has attempted to notify by certified mail the last owner of record of each property, informing them that the Board of Directors will consider declaring these structures a nuisance. And whereas notices of the condemnations will be sent to the owners of record, allowing 30 days for the owner to demolish and remove or otherwise abate the structure. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Directors of the City of Texarkana, Arkansas, that the properties listed in Exhibit A are found to be and condemned as a public nuisance under provision of Section 11-87 of the City of Texarkana, Arkansas Code of Ordinances. That the Public Works Department shall provide the owners of record with notices of the condemnations and allow 30 days for repair or demolition by such property owners. That the Public Works Department is authorized to demolish any of the listed structures that are not repaired or demolished within the 30-day period, after giving the owners at least 10 days in which to remove any personal items. Passed and approved the 16th day of June 2025.
She's read the resolution. What would be the desire of the board?
Motion to adopt.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? Could you call the roll?
Director Smith,
Yes.
Director Roberts,
Yes.
Assistant Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Director Hollibush,
Yes.
Director Brewer,
Yes.
Director Jewell,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes, the resolution passes. It's not anything else on our regular agenda. We'll move into board commentary. Is there anybody that wishes to address the board tonight?
I just got a question. As usual, we get all these gripes about their potholes. Are we at liberty to advise the public about, any update on the potholes, like the guy coming to town, the company coming to town to help on the potholes, and where we stand as far as the city is bond issues or anything to help out on this? Are we at liberty to discuss that with the public or anything?
Certainly.
What our plans are?
Yeah. Now, we've had our chain yanked a little bit by the pothole contractor. He's supposed to have been here for the last 2 weeks in a row and hasn't showed up. We received notification last week that one of their vehicles had an accident at the emulsion plant, and there were some insurance issues that they had to work out. They're working those out currently. We found out this morning that they say they're going to be here on the 27th, which is Friday after next, and they're going to work through the weekend and however long it takes to get completed. They've told us they'd be here the last, 2-3 weeks in a row. There's not another contractor out there that can come in and do this. There is, but nowhere within this 4 states area. So we're kind of handcuffed a little bit by them coming in.
And what's the estimate as far as how long it would take them to do their work here to get us up to speed as far as potholes repair, assuming decent weather?
So last year when they came in and they did all of Ward 2, it took them a week and a half about to do all of Ward 2. And we're not going to be able to just pay for them to do the entire city. We're just trying to utilize them to help us get caught up. We're going to start with $30,000, evaluate where they are with that. We may go another $30,000 after that, but I don't foresee us being able to spend much more than that. But it's going to depend on how much they get done, how efficient they are. But they can put quite a dent in our issue with that. It's not going to get everything, but it'll at least help us get caught up to where it's a little more manageable for our personnel.
And on a long-term basis, or we've got plans to address that on a long-term basis?
Yes, so Tracy and I had a meeting with the company that's doing our street study last week. We have received some preliminary results, 90%. They've just got to wrap up a few last things. Once they get to 100%, give us all that information, we're going to put together a presentation for you just to show you where our road infrastructure is currently, how much we need to put into it, how much we need on an annual basis to maintain it. Because as of right now, just to keep our infrastructure, our road infrastructure in the condition it's in currently, we'd have to put $5.6 million into it every single year. And that's just to keep it in the condition it's at now without deteriorating more. So as you can tell, we don't put anywhere near that amount into it. So yes, my hopes is to present y'all, to give this presentation to y'all once we've received the final street study, and put some numbers to it and let you know what a $10 million street bond will do, a $30 million street bond, where that gets us. I'll be able to give you numbers for, if we were to put $30 million into our system now, where that brings our annual maintenance cost down to, and what that brings our overall pavement condition index up to.
Now, that does have to be approved by the voters, correct?
Correct, yes, sir. It'll be a vote of the citizens. I'm more than likely going to propose, right now, there is a 2.5 mil property tax that they're paying currently. If we pay that off and extend it for another 20 years, that will give us about $9 to $10 million. But the state allows us to go up to 5 mils, so we could place an additional 2.5 mils, and that would possibly get us to 30 million. Now, it would be two separate votes to the citizens, but I feel pretty good that the citizens are just concerned about our streets as we are. So hopefully that vote would go good, but I can give y'all a lot more information. I'll put it all in presentation. I'm planning on just having a workshop with y'all so we can.
Well, my point being, the city is working on a plan to address this pothole issue.
Absolutely.
We're getting our butts chewed out every week.
It keeps me up every single night, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I would just like to know what really constitutes using asphalt and using rebar and
Concrete?
Yeah, some areas just seem can't even integrate asphalt.
Mhm.
Because the water, some areas are low and it holds water, and that's because the asphalt is cracked.
Mhm.
You've got the same problem all over. But if
Right.
if it's built on an area where the water can dissipate, or you have rebar, you have this reinforced with concrete there, it won't go anywhere.
Mhm.
So what really constitutes using, what's the difference there? How do you differentiate between using concrete and asphalt?
Well, for one, concrete's about 5 times as more expensive. It's way more expensive. But if you do have a water issue, it's going to destroy concrete as well. It's going to take longer to destroy it, but concrete is, it's not going to fail as quickly, but once it does, it's drastic failure. But your design life for concrete is, 40 years, whereas asphalt is 15. But you're paying a whole lot more for the concrete than you are the asphalt, and it's typically not feasible for us to even be able to pour concrete.
Yeah, regards, you can just see cracking all in the asphalt.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's the weather too, I'm sure it has something.
Yes, sir. Yeah, but asphalt, as well as concrete. Concrete doesn't take as much, but asphalt requires a hefty amount of preventative maintenance. You know, you have to go in after 3 years of freshly laid asphalt, you have to go in and crack seal. In 7 years, you need to go in and do a cape seal, and then 15 years, you typically need to mill and overlay. But even still, through all that preventative maintenance, it's a much more cost-effective to go the asphalt route. Now, as long as, like what you were saying, as long as you have decent slope on the road, your gutters are clear, and you can get water off the road, then it's perfectly fine. But that's why it's so important for us to do drainage work along with road work, so it doesn't destroy it more. Yes, sir.
Mayor, I got a question for Tyler.
All right.
Tyler, for the city of Texarkana, Arkansas, to pave all of our roads, what's your guesstimation? What's the money amount?
To pave every single one of our roads?
Yes.
200 million. Keep going. That's my
$100 million.
100 million.
That is just to put a 2-inch strip of asphalt on top. That's
Ripping
not
it up.
not ripping it up. That's not base work. Anything. You add all that to it, yeah, you're at 200 million.
Yeah. 200 million.
Terry.
It's a good
I've
start.
got just 2 questions. First of all, thank you for the comparison that you did for me. I'm hoping I get more positive results as I continue through my ward.
Yes, sir.
But Mayor, is there any way, I know that if we can start working on our budget earlier, because I know you said this was going to be a lean year, which it is, and next year scares me as well. And the reason I ask that, I know my concern is all the departments, but our police department, they had to take a hit with freezing personnel, and we didn't get their vehicles, and while some other departments got raises and they didn't have to give up anything. And I just want to make sure that we do take care of our first responders and make sure our police department gets fully funded, that everything that they possibly need that we can provide. I know, we're not unlimited pockets, but I certainly want to make sure that we take care of who we need to take care of.
Well, I mean, one of the things that I've talked to Tyler about, and it's certainly my personal opinion right now would be, I wouldn't even go get the 9 or 10 million. You could go get it, but you're doing patchwork again.
Absolutely.
And the only way you're gonna do extensive road repairs, fix streets in this city going forward is you're gonna have to keep doing bond issues. And the problem that we have with that is twofold. One, you have to position the city in the position where it can pay for the bond. And the second thing is you need to go get a substantial amount because the citizens are gonna have to vote for it. The other thing is that every time that I speak somewhere, every email that I get every week, not everyone in this city understands where the money goes and how expensive it is.
Correct.
And I've told Tyler that in these presentations, if this board decides to go before the voters or whatever the case may be, that should be part of the plan. That should be part of the issue. And a spade's a spade. And what I mean by that is you explain where the money goes. When you have 60% of your revenue going to your police and fire departments, people need to understand that. When you have another 1.4 million now instead of $100,000 a year going to the airport, people need to know that, because those are things that have to come off the top. That's where your money's going. And when you only have $400,000 or $500,000 left to try to fix all of our street and drainage repairs, it doesn't stretch because your income is not increasing. When your sales tax revenue is not increased in the last 4 or 5 years,
Exactly.
you can't go keep and maintain these without doing bond issues. That's just my personal opinion. That's the only way we're doing it. But the other thing is that I feel like it's important, and what I would like to support going forward would be, you've got to go address your drainage issues. And so whatever this bond issue ends up being, you need to go take care of your drainage issues before you start fixing a bunch of these streets, because if you do, he's already pointed out, Mr. Cox did, that they're gonna be, some of them will be underwater and you've wasted your money. So you need to go fix Jones Creek, you need to dredge Nix Creek, you need to do a number of things, and those things aren't gonna be cheap, but you need to go fix them. But you gotta put a plan together, because I know Director Harris is not in favor of using the street study. You've got to go somewhere to look. In my opinion, you can't go to the different ward members and let you start having town hall meetings and decide what citizens, what street they want to fix. That's what we got elected to do, in my opinion. But you'll have a lot more chaos than you will taking the street study, in my opinion, and going and looking at the street study and see how far you can get. But when you look at the street study to try to go figure out how much money we can get, let's say we can go get, when it's all said and done with voter approval, 50 million. And we could go see what we could take care of our drainage issues and see what we can fix on top of that. Then those people that wouldn't be on there naturally probably won't vote for it, because you're not fixing my street in this bond issue. But what happens is look at all the money we're freeing up in road repairs by fixing those other streets. So there's twofold, but you've got to, in my opinion, it's all going to start with explaining to our citizens, this is where your money goes.
Right.
And this is how it happens, and this is how it's going to do.
Do you remember, this is thinking back to the 90s when they built the Miller County Jail out on East Street? They determined, it was half cent for operation and maintenance, half a cent for construction, and it was sunset on the construction. Well, they had 9 meetings once they, said, this is what we're going to present, and the county judge at the time, the quorum court members, they all, from the south end of the county to North Heights Junior High, they had meetings. Everybody was there, very, very well attended meetings, so they could ask questions. And I think if we went some way like that, we would all need to be engaged in that, and to if we're not there to sell it and show them we believe in it, why would they vote for it? And, and explain to them, this is the good, this is the bad, this is where we're at, this is what it's going to take conversation with us all to move this thing forward.
For years, we have a lot of people that come forward and say they're paying taxes, and that is the truth. But for years and years, that tax that went to our city for your road tax was about $13.
Mm-hmm.
And so in reality, on where all that money goes, it doesn't stretch far enough. Now it's 70-something bucks for average tax bills or whatever. It's finally started going up, but so has asphalt, so has a number of things. So I think it's an education process. You will, I would say this, that what my projection would be, the 7 years I've been sitting in this seat, and what we're seeing in sales tax revenue and increasing revenue of the city, is not going to happen. It's not going to happen substantially to where you can continue to go fix the things that you need to fix and maintain the things you need to maintain. So the only way you're going to be able to do it is to go issue bonds and do it. There's not any expanded retail here. We've got housing that we'll get property tax revenue off. We've got industrial development that we can increase. But the thing about it is all these other expenses are increasing, including the airport. So as those continue to escalate, they all come off of the top before we can go fix potholes. That's just the way it goes. But it's going to take a valiant effort by all of us. But a bond issue is going to have to be the way to go. And the way to get it passed is to educate the public.
And to educate the public, I think, Tyler, with the breakdown that you sent out today, that with that data right there, that would give them some type of transparency of the reality that what we're really dealing with when it comes to the numbers. With our continuous accounting, with our discrete accounting, I think just we put more of that information out there so they can see what we actually see.
Yes, sir. I expect a large informational campaign.
All right, Director Harris.
I guess I patiently waited. First of all, I would like to say I'd have had this I really gonna go to this, but I'm gonna go ahead and say something about the street study, Mayor, since you kind of brought that up. This would be the third street study that I would say that I'd have been here and it's been done. And my projected is street study to me has not been fair to the poor neighborhood, just fair out in that. I can show you that on the date of the last time we did, when we got that $1 million at, $20 million, I think the poor neighborhood only got maybe 2 streets. That was Ferguson Street and that was Alder Street. And the reason why they got the Alder Street, maybe because the mayor at that time was driving on the Alder Street, leaving her going to her home every day. So that's probably why Alder Street was done. But if we do a street study and get the money, I'm still going to request that the money be divided up equally within the ward. And the reason why I'm saying that is that if you divide the money equal in the ward and let the ward member meet with his constituent and let him figure out what streets to do. But I know that's probably, it's not going to happen, but that's what I'm going to tell the public. That's what I think the people should hear, that if we get $20 million, $3.3 million need to go to each ward. And I'm still going to say that. And I know there's one lady that came and brought that up at the last board meeting, so somebody out there listened to me about that issue there. But that's her, but that's this. But the reason what I was going to talk about, that I was bringing up the outstanding request to the Public Works Department that I've made within the last 2 weeks, a month. And number 4 is street potholes not being done in Ward 2. And I'm just going to go back, even Pinehurst ain't been done. You know, I brought that up at the last board meeting. And then I was going down, I seen about 5 cars going down Pinehurst Street again, and they had to get on the other side and let the other cars had to stop so they can go through. But then you got Graham Streets. That's in Ward 2. You got Alcal Street. You got Arkansas Street. You got Ferguson Street. You got Del Monte Street. You got Park Street. You got Preston Street. Belmont Street. Now, I sent Tracy probably a 3-page streets. Potholes need to be done in Ward 2. At just when the last, I think that was about a month ago. And these are the ones that has not been done. And then my other issue was the ditch near Park Street and Preston Street, that to the creek, it ain't been cleaned out.
It was clean.
Well, the ditch to Park Place from Preston Street to the creek on Griffin Street. Now, I went there this morning and it wasn't done.
Well, then there must be some confusion on what ditch it is you're talking about, because ADC went out to cut that ditch last week, and we did receive pictures that it was completed.
Okay, and the
Behind High Point Apartments?
Huh?
Behind High Point
Well,
Apartments?
you did do that behind the High Point, but you left 10 feet right in front of by the pole that they didn't do. You did do the ditch behind High Point over the High Point apartment, but you left about 10 feet wide from back there, the fence going all the way down to the street. I don't have no pictures here, but I can probably go take some pictures. But that's another issue I was bringing up. And then on Silver Street, you still got a manhole that's being stopped up and damaged. I brought that up before. And then one side is still stopped up. That hasn't been stopped up. And then I don't know what y'all plan on doing about Alder Street Bridge, that how it's being stopped up and running to people's yard. That hasn't been done yet. Then the drainage issue on Fairview and Mitchell Street, which I had stated that I met with you and the Assistant Public Works Director, Roger, about that. And then I guess I sent you an email about the housing consultant. What's your status on that, about trying to get a housing consultant, helping with the housing issue in here. I even sent you an email, which you ain't respond to me about trying to sell an Ingram pool, which some people request about trying to buy it, because to me, that is still a part of the community which I serve history. And I don't think that the city needs to just go and just tear down, which I got FOI, and I got about I think about 46 pages. I think when they were first built in 1965, I think the city paid $36,000 for it. Now, he claimed they're going to take $1 million to fix it, but I said, get it to somebody or sell it to somebody and let them see what they can do to that pool, because well, I don't want to say what happened at the big day on place, because I don't want to use that right now. I talk about that another day. But use that, let that pool there come back and serve the community. And I think because if you use the issue of protect the health, safety, and welfare of the citizen, that would be a good idea how you can sell the pool. And the guy who's trying to buy it, I don't want to call his name here, he owns a concrete business. So, and I don't know what price you could put on there, how would you go about doing it, but I do know the city, to me, basically don't want no part of having a pool in its arsenal no more, but I can't understand. But you went and got a building in 2000 that was given to the city in 2013, and you've been having a swimming pool since 1965 and spending almost $1 million. And I'm talking about the old Boys and Girls Club, but you didn't want to do nothing to the England pool, which I still don't understand about that. And then what about the workshop for the customer service ordinance that I have before the board? That I put a customer service ordinance for y'all, and Tyler said no on that. And I also noticed one thing about that. Only employees that was an employee before they became a city manager, they was the only one that enforcing that ordinance, that if they disagree with something that a board member is putting before the board, that then we had to go do a workshop for y'all for them coming before the board. And I got a customer service ordinance. It's about 5 pages. And I guess Tyler thought I'd have forgot about it, but I'll let him explain that. But he basically said no, and then he got to have a workshop, and then y'all got to look at it and see if that's the issue y'all want to have for it. It's a 4-page customer service ordinance, and I wasn't gonna pass nothing out, but that's the other issue I got that he haven't did just yet. And
Director Harris, Heather has emailed you multiple times about a schedule for a workshop.
That workshop, no, you wanted to do it right before that, and I said wait until the mayor get back, so you'll have all the board members here.
She has asked again when you would like to do.
Nothing about a workshop.
Okay.
The only thing I told her, wait till the mayor, because at the time the mayor was gonna be gone, and I wanted at least all the board members can look at it. But then again, I still just can't understand, why you so adamant against the item that I bring before this board. That's what I don't.
Director Harris, I have told you multiple times that I'm in agreement with 90% of that customer service ordinance, and I've requested multiple times.
What's the having a workshop then? I don't understand that.
Because there are issues with it. And I've requested that you come meet with me countless number of times now to discuss that, but I can't get you to meet with me.
Well, that's another issue why I haven't met with you on some issue. I will have an executive session meet with you with the other board member, but that's another date thing. But that's another issue right there. So, but I don't want to. I'll wait and do that with the other board members present. So, but and the other thing, I guess I did the drainage issue. Okay, and I know that the Cleveland Street, I know you said you didn't want to do that because base with Pearl. But if when the last time you went on Cleveland Street and Pearl Street just to see how bad that street is? No, that street have got real bad, and it's in the poor neighborhood. It's in Ward 2, and that's about one of the worst street ever. And that's another reason why I stated to the public that if we ever do a bond issue, you need to get each ward split that money up equal, because I still say that street study is gonna be biased for the poor neighborhood. Just look at all the list. I'm finna give him about the pothole, but like I said, it's about 15 of, I'm gonna say about 20 potholes I'm finna give him that has not been done. It could be more, but that street study is not gonna correlate with the potholes I'm giving him, and I know it's not. And I think that, and so that's the reason why I'm gonna say it one more time. If we do a bond issue, it need to be done that each ward would get the same amount of money, and then each ward member would need to meet with his constituent, and we need to figure out what street would need to be done. And I think that would be the first way to do it. Because sometimes this.
Are you gonna let them vote? Are you gonna let your citizens vote on which street needs to be done, or how are you gonna decide?
Well, we gonna meet and we gonna decide right there on when we have things.
So what's gonna happen to the people that the street they want done don't get done?
Well, that's why we gonna have to
They won't vote
that's why we gonna get together.
Anything else, Director?
So far, they haven't had no issue with the streets I've been picking, I say that much. But it's not me getting the street done like I put Cleveland Street, and that's bring another issue. That was a concrete street, but yet they asphalt that street, and then the base fell, and they ain't never went back to fix that street. But I think I just saw them doing another concrete street, and they put it on their Facebook page. I'm thinking it was 23rd Street. I could be wrong.
Yes, sir.
On the street. But they fixed that with concrete, but then that's another issue, I just wish that, and like I said, I still want to meet with my constituents and let them, and we get together and figure out what streets be done. And I think, like I said, Mayor, they gon' probably, you ain't gonna please everybody up here. So I already be aware of that, but it's just the idea that my ward and every ward, you're gonna have, if you go 20 million, we gonna each have $3.3 million to spend in our ward.
Let me just give you one more point. What if we look at the street study, and if we go down that street study list, and we can only do 20 streets, and 10 of them are in Ward 2?
I still want 3.3 million. I said, I can't change the game to the study.
I'm just saying,
If I'm
that's
trying to be
premature. We haven't seen the
If I'm
street
trying to
study.
be fair,
Right.
and fair is splitting the money up among the ward. And whether that street study say, I don't think that street study should even meet you. To me, it was a waste of money.
Anything else?
That's it.
Anything else? Any other board member? If not, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
So have a motion and a second. Could you call the roll, please?
Director Smith,
Yes.
Director Robert,
Yes.
Assistant Mayor Harris,
Yes.
Director Hollibush, Director Brewer,
Yes.
Director Jewell,
Yes.
Mayor Brown.
Yes, we're adjourned.